All right. What's up, guys? We got another series here from the Masters Coliseum 8. This one's Group C, two of the favorites to win the group. Hero in the bottom left side representing Weibo Gaming up against Vitality's MARU. And it's going to be a TvP. These guys have played so many fantastic series. It's been the height of PvT over the last many years. And I think the last year and a half has been rather tragic for Hero because there's been multiple times he's kind of had MARU, if not dead to rights, in very bad positions. I think the nicest way you can say it for Hero is that he had MARU in a very negative position. And then MARU came back multiple times in multiple series. There was a number of 4-3s, 3-2s. The loss to MARU at Dallas was famous. It was Alcyone, and Hero was like, you know what? I'm going to go carriers while up 50 supply. And he just basically threw the lead away. MARU's an expert at beating carrier plays. Hero's very average at playing carrier late game as far as top pro gamers go. And it was kind of a bummer. But I'm hoping he can, rally back. He's been looking really good recently. Hero does. I think he beat Clem once or twice recently. And he's, as always, got that dynamic style. He is, as ever, untiltable as a player. Hero does not get thrown off by small, failures here or there. He's always feeling very confident in how he plays. And that's a big delay on the barracks. It's a big mistake for MARU. He should have pulled the extra SCV earlier. He just lost like 4 or 5 seconds of build time on the barracks. That means the Reaper is not really a threat. Hero could have got away with Nexus before Cybercore, and he wouldn't have lost even a single probe. This Reaper starts at a minute 33, a minute 34. It's meant to start at a minute 26. That is an incredibly late Reaper there. So that Reaper is not really a threat. And even if you're planning to go Reactor after, the Reactor's delayed, it just slows down your build order. Now, I don't think Hero's played an exceptionally greedy build order, so it's not like he's getting away with murder because of this, but it just means it was a successful probe harass, annoyed MARU, saw what he was up against, and it looks like MARU pulling 3 workers off gas, getting ready to build that command center. Dropping mules and getting the fast factory. Now, is it going to be a second Reaper? No, straight into Reactor there. Fair call. Reaper, of course, going to be MARU's first scout in this game. And Hero, what are we doing? Got a probe on the map. This looks like a proxy 3-gate build. I could be wrong. It does look like a proxy 3. Get that probe's just hiding in the grass. Reaper's looking everywhere for proxies, except where that probe's hiding. Very, very nice hiding skills. And it is just a Twilight Council, so never mind. I have no idea what this is for, unless it's Dark Templar, Proxy DT. Probe comes in now, a little bit later. Adept goes forward. Second one's being chronoed as well, which means it can deal with the Reaper. Pylon does see the Reaper enter the natural. And of course, this Adept has to stay at home, because the Reaper can threaten jumping up the ledge. And the Adept should be there ready to greet it. Reaper jumps in, Reaper jumps out. Adept arrives at this side. Probe already scouted to see if the natural was there. It is, of course, not. And the Marine production a little inconsistent as MARU's focusing on SCV, Widowmine, Starport production. He's not really focusing on building Marines constantly. So it's going to be very slow on getting some raw firepower out of the map. 2 Adepts are heading forward. Stalker's here. Actually, sorry, I think the Adept's guarding the natural. Hey, at least sees the Twilight Council. MARU consciously sacrificing this to make sure he's not going to die to an Oracle. He sees it's a Twilight. Of course, we know second gate into Robo next up as well. Adept comes forward. And the command center on the high ground after a double gas build is just so uneconomic. I have been talking a bit recently about how I think a lot of Protoss players misplay against this by not playing safe enough. Like, if you go for a third Nexus here as Hero, I think it's just unconscionably greedy. I think you should always build a third gateway versus this. You can build a fourth as well, just go 4-gate, but I think 3-gate is like the perfect build. It's what MaxPax likes to do a lot of the time. And it just makes sense. Your opponent has delayed their expansion and built it on the high ground, which means it needs to float down. That costs a lot of money. I think the Adept did see the medevac. If it didn't see it before, it definitely sees it now. Stalkers should be moving out. At least one Stalker. The Adept should go home, because Adepts don't shoot up. But the Stalkers, you spread one here, one down here. If you can get a few hits on the medevac, that's great. And then you warp in the main base. So if he runs past, you can get him in. Oh, Boost is out. Boost is not ready for a few seconds. A few very valuable Stalker shots on that medevac. It's going to go down along the very edge. Stalkers go back in the main. Only one Stalker there. I'm surprised he doesn't have a Stalker down here to really just stop that Widow. If this Widowmine drop goes in, it's a one-way trip. Those Stalkers will put it deep in the red very quickly. Already getting 2 hits off. That medevac has been stopped in its tracks. Super damaged. It is only 4 Stalker shots from death. And that means you've got to be so careful with it. Adept comes forward. It's going to see Marines. It's Raven tank. Second barracks engineering bay. I normally much prefer a third barracks before engineering bay. And yes, he does actually have his second barracks already finished. Sorry, that's his third barracks he's building. Adept gets into the base. There's a few damaged SCVs here. Widowmine drop does come in at the same time. The Adept's actually going to be able to focus down one SCV. It's going to take out a Marine as well. Did get a Widowmine on the natural, but it looks like the Observer took that one down. Lots of lost probe mining time for Hero, though. His macro is in a bit of a mess. Hero, we got to fix this macro, bro. What are we doing? Medevac got out of there, dude. That's a surprising amount of lost mining time and just chaos here. Hero is going to try and counterattack with the Prism. If MARU can defend this, I think he's had a very successful opening. MARU's wall off is not good. That tank positioning sucks, guys. This starport's in a really bad spot. It should be here, and his tank should be up here. Whole point of this wall off is if he blinks in, you're shooting him straight away. I do not like that tank position. There's also no bunker on the natural. The tanks aren't covering each other. MARU's positioning is really basic right now, and his tank exposed on the natural. The Marines get jumped on. MARU, what is this defensive setup with his tank in the main? No bunker and a tank in the main, especially after finding that much damage. That is a travesty. Raven's going to kill a few probes, but this is unnecessarily greedy for MARU, and he's left an opening. Of course, Hero's taking it. Hero with 3-gate blink aggression going for Robo Bay, 4 gas behind it, denies the eBay, denies the depot. MARU's going to have to rebuild that eBay from scratch. Raven throwing down one more auto turret, but the Stalker takes care. The auto turret does take out an extra probe before these Stalkers deal with it. Now, as these Stalkers come forward and blink into the main, he just can't cover it. He's only got one tank. He's still not building bunkers, which is crazy. MARU showing zero respect for a hero that is exceptionally all in. Nice repair, though. Very good repair. Can he save Stim? I think he saves it. Just barely saves it. Really well done by MARU. That was a good save. Super cool save there. Tank siege is out. He's got to unsiege that and boost it to the natural right now. He's got to pick that up, boost it to the natural. Come on, MARU, you know you're in a hurry. You got to get these tanks repositioned quickly. But his wall off sucks, guys. This barracks should be there. The factory should be there. The tank should be where that tech lab is. This is bad positioning for MARU in this game. He just lost another tank, guys. It got blinked on, taken out. His medevac got taken out as well. The Stalkers are just ripping him apart. MARU left an opening, and of course Hero was there to just profit off of it. Hero's back to 2-base saturation now, which he did take quite a bit of damage, remember, and a lot of mining time. He lost 7 probes. His third Nexus is starting, but he's getting even more damage. Stim is finally finished. The Marines are going to blink forward. Oh, okay, Marines are fragile without combat shields. Good Prism Micro for Hero, just backing away here, picking off what he can, using the range advantage of the Stalkers. He's lost 5 Stalkers this game. That's amazing. Only 5 Stalker losses. There are 3 tanks out. MARU should be okay now, but on this map, you gotta respect the 3 and 4 gate blink aggression, and it really feels like he hasn't done that. This starport positioning is really making it hard for him to move his tanks around his base. His SCVs have to get out of there. Stalkers blink in the natural. Doesn't quite get the tank in that scenario as the Stim Marines do chase him away. Few of these Stalkers look like they will just barely get out of there. Yes, they will. Zealots warped into the main base as well. Hero going for broke right now, dragging some friendly fire onto the friendly units, but you can see MARU specifically targeted the Stalkers with the tank to make sure they wouldn't kill his own SCVs. MARU survives, but he's on 5 barracks on 2 base, and that's been spotted, right? Is it 5 barracks? Actually, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5 barracks. That's been spotted. So as Hero, you've got Colossus. MARU scan sees the Colossus. What do you do here? You have to drop a 3rd command center. You're not going to kill a Colossus player. On the other hand, he might feel like he's already too deep down that direction. He might just keep building tanks, squeeze a few Vikings in soon, and then actually start building Marauders off the Tech Lab barracks and just go all in. I mean, he's not even got add-ons on these 2 barracks. Yeah, he's just going to go all in. MARU feels like he's too far behind the curve. He's going to go all in here. But I think his opening, the fact that his Widowmine drop got in was actually so good. Even though he let the Adept in, it killed like 1 SCV. It wasn't a big concern. He denied so much mining time. But you got to have better positioning. This is something Clem learnt after the 2nd day on this patch, was he died to 4-gate blink repeatedly for like 2 days. And then by 3 or 4 days into the new patch and the new map pool, Clem had very methodical wall-offs. I don't think I've seen him drop a map to 4-gate blink since then. And that's just a testament to how good he was at covering up that earlier weakness. Oh, the force fields hold back the Marines. Tank does go down. Stalkers take out another tank. No, they don't quite get it. Hero, I think he could have focus fired the tanks a little bit better there. But he does at least buy himself some time. No more energy on those sentries. Prism scouting ahead of the army. Colossus go forward. Oh my god, Colossus with Stutter Step are going to ruin this, especially with the Prism micro pickup. Wow, the Prism Colossus destroy the Marine SCV. MARU has to tap out. And that is a very, very solid counterattack for Hero. I want to go over what we saw there, guys, because I really feel like when that Widowmine drop hit, if you commit to a 3 Widowmine drop, it's kind of established knowledge. You've committed a lot to your early pressure. This is a lot. A lot of players won't risk going for a 3 mine drop because they know it delays them building their tech labs, their tanks, their extra barracks getting on the tech labs, and it makes it much harder to defend things like 4-gate blink. But MARU commits to it, and that's why I'm staggered by the context of this game, that he chose to be so greedy afterwards, and just not even greedy, it just felt like he wasn't refined on his defensive setup, and that maybe a lack of practice, I'm not sure. So he drops a Widowmine on the outside, boosts in. This I wasn't really watching when it happened because the Adept got in, but like this was great. This was really good. Like he does a burrow, unburrow to waste a little bit more time. The Widowmine on the natural comes in. Doesn't quite get the shot. It was very close to, but still, like, just look at the chaos. Hero's like in shambles here for a second. And then I'm like, cool. Like every Terran instinct here is build a bunker here. This engineering bay and depot positioning sucks. It should be engineering, like depot here, engineering bay here, depot here. You build a wall off, and you put the tank here. So if they blink in, they're trapped on this side of your wall off, and they can only get back to the other side by waiting for blink or using the prism to pick up. So that's why normally if you're really worried about 4-gate blink, which you should be on Frostline, you build a wall off here. You don't, like, I don't know why you're building buildings here as MARU. Like this doesn't defend against anything. And then this building placement we pointed out was really weak. So this barracks should have been to the left a little bit more. And the idea is if he blinks in here, you've got a tank right there shooting him straight away, and you've got buildings in front. So even if the Stalkers try to run in, they have to run around the buildings to get to the tank, getting shot the whole time. That's the whole defensive setup. But because this is so far from the natural, a lot of players, like we'll often see Clem build 2 bunkers. And if he built 2 bunkers and had a few Marines in each of those, this would have been fine. But the moment you just leave yourself this exposed, and the thing is, you could put an SCV over here and at least see if he's going to blink up and react to the main in time. But to siege this tank here just seemed like nonsense to me. Like, the most important thing is keep all your units together, have the other tank here, and if he blinks in the main, yeah, you might lose some add-ons and stuff, but if you lose your tanks, that's a disaster. And having so many units in the main, no bunkers, 0 respect for the counter pressure. Yes, it was a 4-gas build, but he did have 3 gateways. He was always going to do some blink counter pressure. MARU was basically saying, oh, I'll just pin you at home with Raven Harass and keep you busy. But that did not hit early enough. So this was a big mistake for MARU. Nicely played for Hero, though. Really well microed. All right. That was a pretty nice win for Hero. Yeah, I mean, not the best defense with his probes. He got in the chaos there, but he didn't lose too many probes. He did reset the mining. Just took him a few seconds. You can kind of see Hero panicking a little bit. MARU in the top left should not be making the same mistake as the last game. This is another one of the maps that Clem really got caught off by early on. So Clem will go barracks, factory, starport here with his like last building. So your first barracks is obviously at the wall off, but you go factory, starport, and then second and third barracks. You create a wall like this, and as long as the tank's there, anywhere he blinks in, he's getting shelled, and the Stalkers can't really reach the tank because it's there. It's got factories and add-ons, barracks, starports, and add-ons in front. And it's just, it's foolproof. And Clem does this every time on this map, and Frostline as well. And I would like to see MARU do the same thing. If he doesn't, it really shows he hasn't been practicing as much as he should have, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I mean, as much as he should have. I'm not saying he should practice. I mean, to be his best player, right? To be in his best form. And I know a lot of players have taken varying levels of, like, off-season breaks or just playing for a tournament here or there. But we're definitely seeing, like, Clem is very tight and up to date on the new patch. Max Pax as well. A couple of other players that have been playing a ton. Hero's been playing quite a lot of tournaments, so he's very well practiced. Shin, but not sure where MARU's at, because MARU and Cyril never really play the small tournaments online. They only play the bigger ones. So you don't know what's going on unless they reveal it. Now this is a double gas into expand opening. I don't know why he's doing this other than to get early sentry out. Is it Sentry into Stargate, maybe? Oh, this might be Sentry into Oracle. And don't build a pylon up there. That's correct. What's he do? What's this? What is Hero doing? He's going to hallucinate. He used an energy recharge and already hallucinated across the map. Maru's going to try to get a bit of damage. You could keep fighting there and do some damage. You won't beat the Sentry. He's going to hide tech in the very top of his base. Okay. All right, Hero has some sort of 300 IQ game plan. I think it's a Robo now. No, it is Stargate. Okay, Sentry, Stalker, and Warp Gate into Stargate. up against what is a very fast double gas into expand on the low ground. MARU taking a slight risk this time, but it's worth it since he knows it's a sentry first opening. Doesn't have to deal with any early adept getting across the map, so he should be just fine. So I actually think it's Phoenix, not Oracle. I think it's just going to try and hide 3 to 4 Phoenix. And if MARU commits to another 3 Widowmine drop, which is like a very old build, by the way, even 2 Widowmine drop, if you're worried about 4-gate blink, you shouldn't really do. His wall-off placement is a bit better. But remember, Stalkers can blink in down here as well, so I still feel like he needs to put his next barracks here and put the tank there to be properly positioned. Okay, he only built 2 Widow Mines, which is a lot better than 3. Yeah, I think he's just going to do a 2-mine drop. Maybe even put 4 Marines in the drop as well. We'll see how it goes. Oh, good movement. Stops it from getting killed by the Widow Mine. The hallucination's going to see what's coming out and try to track it. Now, Hero's going Phoenix, so he's already got 1 out. He's making a second. Yeah, committing to a drop into this is really bad. So this is the mind game here for Hero, guys, is from Maru's side. He says, you've gone Sentry, you've gone Stalker, you spent so much gas on that, you can't afford a Stargate. You're definitely playing Twilight. It's almost always Twilight, but that's why Hero went double gas before expand, because he knows Maru doesn't scout your expansion timing early on. So Maru has no idea that this is actually a bunch of Phoenix waiting. It's a trap! Admiral Akbar has a stiffy right now. The Phoenix should just pick up those Widow Mines before they can actually burrow. The Stalker Sentry will kill both of them. And you can see, yeah, both of them go down. The Medevac will fall as well, and that's such a big advantage. And now you get to play Phoenix Colossus, and Terran's just behind. Because he's thrown away those units. He's stuck turtling now. He needs a bunker to defend the Stalkers. He needs to try and get some Cyclones or whatever to, you know, Cyclone Viking to defend the main. Second and third barracks isn't that quick. If you know you're playing against this build, you can completely skip Raven. You can completely skip Medevac. You can go straight to just 3 barracks, stim bio, go to Medevacs. It's going to be really hard for Protoss to ever get a third base up until they've got multiple Colossus on the field. But in this sort of game, it's like, oh man, I just have to like chill and turtle for a little bit. And that gives a lot of freedom to Hero, who catches the Reaper, removes Maru's map vision, takes a third, and not just that, he's not playing Colossus, he's playing Storm Drop. Phoenix into Storm style. Maybe even just pure Zealot Archon? Hero's a bit of a rando. Like, he does really random stuff. So, we'll see. It is Charge instead of Blink, which makes sense. You've got Phoenix for air control. You don't need Blink. But I really wonder, because he's got 4 gas so early, does he try to go Storm, or does he just play Zealot Archon for a little bit and then try to transition into, like, you know, Colossus and standard Robo play? Meanwhile, Stim and Shields is on the way for Maru. Maru's had the worst end of the opening. He had a good opening last game. It's a shame that he gave away that advantage, because this game's going to be a lot harder. He's going to need to dig in his heels and play against a Protoss who has a lot more map control, Phoenix scouting. It's going to be harder to surprise the Protoss. You feel like you have a bit less agency in this position as a Terran. That's the best of 3. That's right, guys. It's a group stage round robin, so best of 3. We'll see how it goes. Phoenix coming and picking up the SCVs. Good damage. A couple of SCVs and Marines going down. And he's just going to kill the Marines. And he's like, wait, it's only a few unupgraded Marines. I can just kill those. Units lost tab. 0 losses for Protoss. 900 resources going down for Terran. He now has to build a turret in each mineral line to stop those Phoenix doing damage. Medevacs are building, but still no third command center started, whereas the third for Hero is well on the way. Now, it looks like Hero is just continuing to build Phoenix. I was like wondering if he's going to go Storm or Archon. He's just like, no, it's fine. I'm just building a Robo and building Phoenix and building upgrades. So that's where his 4 gas income's going for. He will bank up a bit of gas over time with this. Ooh, very nice. Gets himself a Widow Mine. So much value for Hero in this game. Yeah, how many gateways is this? 6, 7 gateways in a moment. Very gradual build up for Hero. Doesn't feel like this build is very chunked together. Not very like memorized. It's very fluid. And I think that's good. Oh, he finds the Raven! Maru's full energy Raven going down. Would have been so good for like interference matrix, anti-armor missile. Well, not interference matrix, he doesn't have it. Anti-armor missile and auto turrets. Losing a few units there. Marines and Widow Mines going down. Man, this is such a bad start to this. And we've got 10 charge zealots. An Immortal and more Phoenix are coming in. It's all about Zealots, really. If you can make one more round of Zealots here, and the Phoenix coming in, he even hallucinates a Colossus. He's got 3 sentries. Dude, I think he's just going to YOLO this. Of course he is. Hero's got the numbers. Phoenix can gun down the Medevacs. He's got to be worried about the Widow Mines, though. But well, first Widow Mine does land a good hit in the middle of 4 Zealots. Does get himself a Medevac with the Phoenix, and then Hero pulling back. Doesn't want to chase into this army, but you know, he kind of could. He could send the Colossus to tank that Widow Mine as well. He's going to do that. He says, fake Colossus, you take the Widow Mine. Let's go. Chase this army down. MARU sees the third base does not have minerals on it, or gases on it. He's building his own third, but he's got to try and turtle up. Hero has a big advantage. He's going for armor after +1 attack. Second Robo base. So he's transitioning into real Colossus. Fake Colossus runs forward, gets killed by the Marauders. The Phoenix are going to rotate while the ground army just chills. Beautiful position for Hero. He's just had a very clever opening, very tricky opening. And MARU played a little bit too predictable. Widowmine drop into Widowmine drop. 2 games in a row. Super generic standard play. And it's something where, especially against the modern hallucination players, I've been saying, I don't think Widowmine drop's even that good because they can always hallucinate and actually track where the mine drop is coming from. So even if they don't do a tricky, like, Phoenix hide like Hero was doing, I think you can usually defend Widowmine drop even more reliably in the current patch than you used to be able to because you always know it's coming. You're never sitting there going, oh, is it or isn't it? If you make a sentry, you know. And that's why I do think MARU's build order is one of the more outdated build orders that I think we're going to see less and less of on this patch. I'd need to look at Clem's games. I don't think Clem opens up with just plain Widowmine drop much anymore. We'll see like 1 mine, 6 Marines. We'll see Cyclone Viking pressure. We'll see like, you know, a few different things. Hellion drop still slid in there sometimes, but it does feel like Clem has a bit more variability, whereas MARU's going back to this very generic, kind of older way of playing from many years ago. And I think in the modern meta, with that energy recharge, it's going to be weaker than ever. Phoenix flying past into the left side of the natural. They find a medevac. Ooh, barely survives. Phoenix on the front. He's going for it. Crazy attack here. Wow. Okay, but Hero just takes out a mine, forces the stim, and runs away. That's a good move. Anytime you force the stims, the medevacs get low on juice. It makes him paranoid. And it just gives you the freedom to pull back and pick when and where the fights happen. Like, we got a second Forge coming in now. Is it still 7 gates? Yeah, 7 gates, but with double Robo Colossus plus 2 weapons on the way, which is going to make those Colossus so much stronger. 8th gateway building and going to 6 gases. Hero on 70 probes, having a ball. Ooh, EMP from MARU says those Phoenix no longer can pick up ground units. Does EMP every single Phoenix as they were stacked to snipe that SCV. Two disruptors on the way, Blink coming in, plus 2 armor starts as well. Chrono boost going. I don't think there's an armory for MARU. No armory. So it looks like MARU might just pull the boys and go all in on this army. Against the guy with Colossus and now double disruptor production and a maxed out army advantage. Feels pretty desperate for MARU. Feels like game 1 in that he's in this like really bad spot and he's kind of just like, well, I better just go all in then. At least then I have a big army. But against 4 Colossus, he's got how many Vikings? No Vikings. You can't make this work. You have to play slow. He just killed his own SCV. MARU did with a misclick. MARU needs to build Vikings. He needs to slow down and calm down. He can't do an all-in. For him, the game is survive. And I don't know how you do that against Hero's army. Hero, I would love to see him hit Zealots in the natural right now. Oh my gosh! MARU with an incredibly slow spread takes 2 big disruptor shots. A bunch of Marauders do survive the hits, but a lot of Marines that go down. I heard at least 1 Ghost fall as well. Phoenix picking up those Widow Mines. The Phoenix dive in here, start to kill the Medevacs, the Stalkers, the Colossus, the Zealots roasting here. 2+2 attack may not be done, but it's equal upgrades, better numbers for Hero. And Hero steamrolling MARU here. I love this build order in this game. I just want to go back and show you guys the opening one more time because it took me a few seconds to pick up on what he was doing. I was like, is this a proxy? But no. He just goes gate, gas, second gas, and then he scouts to make sure there's no eBay block. He goes pylon on the natural, which I don't know why he gets the pylon this early because he doesn't build a Zealot, does he? No, he did build a Zealot, did he? I guess he starts the Zealot in case he gets eBay blocked, and then he cancels it to build the Nexus, I think. He doesn't pull off minerals to mine gas. He just puts 2 on each gas, and he's done like a... Oh, I guess it's because he does a double early chrono on probes. And then the Nexus goes down, and then he starts the sentry. Yeah, I don't think there's any need for the pylon to go down that early, guys. You could argue it's for vision to see if there's like an eBay coming in. I do think it'd probably be slightly more efficient if he goes the pylon after the Nexus, but... Gets an early sentry, chronos a Stalker, hides that 3rd pylon in the back corner here so that he can hide the Stargate. And then he ends up building the Stargate just over here anyway because he forgot that he hid this pylon back here, I think. Or maybe he just... I think... Actually, no. You know what? No. It's because if he sees a 3rd pylon, he's going to realize the Nexus is late. He's going to realize something finicky's happening. He's like, wait, I already... You know, he's going to see a pylon here and stuff. And you really want to stop the Reaper seeing the Nexus even because that Nexus is late. Nexus should have been finished a little while ago. MARU sees it. MARU sees a late Nexus. That should ring alarm bells. I think as MARU, you should absolutely be playing a safer style. He sees a delayed Nexus, you know something's up. That Nexus didn't start until 2 minutes 52. Sorry, 1 minute 52. That's at least 10 seconds later than a Cyber Core before an Nexus build normally would be. So more like 15 or more seconds later than it. So 20 seconds later, I think I think it's about 135. You normally get the Nexus with a core before Nexus. And this was also, I think, without a probe scout. No, he did. Yeah, he didn't probe scout, right? Yeah, and Hero didn't probe scout, so it should be even earlier than that. Yeah, MARU had some tells here, but he didn't pick up on it. So he falls into the trap, and if you fall into that trap and Widowmine drop into a Phoenix player, you are just in a bad position. Great play for Hero. Really decisive series, and it's good to see Hero actually beat MARU clean and simple for once. GG, well played to Hero. Gets the 2-0.